There's a peculiar gap between what we think we know and what we truly understand.
Whoa.
And we've eaten chocolate our entire lives, savored it, craved it, and even considered ourselves connoisseurs.
Hit me.
Okay, cool.
Hit me. I'm ready.
I even had my face lathered in it.
I've been turned into a truffle, and I want to lick my own face so bad.
Yet after 15 minutes in the R&D room at Malagos Chocolate in the Philippines, I realized I knew almost nothing about what truly makes chocolate extraordinary. It's not like typical chocolate at all. It doesn't taste what I'm so used to thinking of as chocolate. It's like a whole new sort of thing. It's kind of tripping me out. This farm and factory in the foothills of Mount Talomo is just one of 19 heirloom cacao farms in the entire world. That alone makes it remarkable. But here, heirloom isn't just marketing language. It signifies genetic treasures, flavor profiles, and cultivation methods that have nearly vanished in an age of mass production. Last week, we introduced you to our friend Rex.
You're not dressed for farming.
Come on, Rex, what are you talking about?
And he took us on an incredible journey from pod to bean, where they use regenerative farming techniques that focus on the health of the soil and the biodiversity of the environment to produce some of the world's most prized cacao. And this week, he's taking us from bean to bar.
I'm so excited.
And the moment we had our first taste, the question began to form.
We see.
Nikki, you gotta try it.
Nikki, yeah.
If this is what chocolate truly is, then what exactly have we been consuming all these years?
You want to spit it out, don't you?
So settle in, because this is the story of how one family in Mindanao, an island rarely visited by the outside world, is maintaining something most of us didn't even realize was being lost, and how the experience transformed our understanding of something we thought we already knew.
Oh gosh, tastes completely different.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, anyone can visit Malagos to get a glimpse at the factory floor, make a custom bar, and visit the chocolate museum. But we're suiting up and stepping beyond the public areas. Going in for the big production, which means we have got to wear proper gear because we don't want to contaminate any of the heirloom chocolate. Traversing into spaces where the real work of chocolate making happens.
This is our R&D room.
Special access.
And there are a lot of spaces. The first is the quality control lab, where the beans undergo rigorous testing and assessment.
Upon the arrival of the cacao beans, we perform cut tests. Have to close this one.
Like a guillotine.
Yes. 1, 2, 3. So this is now the bean.
The scientists will slice, poke, swab, and inspect these from the inside out and down to a microbiological level, searching for everything from coliform to salmonella.
So we can really assure you that our Malagos chocolate is safe, edible, and delicious.
And this is a process that separates merely good cacao from the exceptional, and only the chosen beans get to move on for transformation.
They all look good.
Yes, they all look good.
And you've got all those little pruny lines in there.
Yes, yes.
Because turning cacao into chocolate follows a sequence that's deceptively simple on paper, yet extraordinarily complex in execution. But before we jump on to the next phase, let's partake in a local tradition.
This is pure cocoa liquor, and then we put a little bit of sugar. Yeah. So and then of course water. So this is the real stuff. It's called Tsokolate because it's espresso. Okay.
Hit me.
Okay, cool.
Hit me. I'm ready. Look at that. Beautiful.
Okay, so you need to smell it first because our nose can detect thousands of compounds.
Yeah.
And then
More nuanced than our mouth.
Yeah. It's real soft.
It's soft. It's mild. It's smooth. It finishes with like a nice chocolate flavor.
Yeah, it's very strong cocoa flavor.
Yeah. But it's on the finish.
Yeah.
And it lingers in my mouth.
Yeah.
So you would drink this instead of coffee as a...
Yeah, because chocolate dilates your blood vessels also. So some people they can survive the day with just drinking chocolate. I mean pure stuff.
Yeah.
Pure stuff. When you say chocolate, that's
We've just been given full reason for only
Chocolate
drinking
all
chocolate.
day. Wake up, chocolate,
yeah,
all good.
yeah.
Oh my God.
But I would love to drink it with more sugar.
How much?
Yeah,
About like that?
yeah, about like that.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Sugar is a good thing. I mean,
Not,
It's not a good thing,
lot of
but
sugar,
it is
but
a
yeah,
good thing.
a little bit of sugar
beautiful.
comes a long way.
It's almost like Oaxacan hot chocolate in Mexico. It's very thick, very rich, but their chocolate is usually more roasty, and then they add cinnamon and
They
sugar.
add pepper also.
Yeah, and pepper and cayenne or chilies.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's delicious in that same sort of thickness,
Yeah.
viscosity, and
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah.
And this is more like a craft coffee. Oh, they're
Yeah.
feeding the koi.
Whoa.
You taste all the nuances, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what this experience is like.
Yeah.
I like.
It's good. It's very good.
Onto the bar.
The bar. Check this out. Our room is right there, and just outside are these orchids. Wow. All over. How cool is that?
While we might be feeling the full euphoric effects of chocolate therapy now, the reality is that not every day can or will be a Willy Wonka paradise. And when life starts to feel heavy and overwhelming and riddled with anxiety, while we lean on our friends and our family and our community to help get us through. But sometimes that just isn't enough, and we need a trained professional who can help us navigate those more difficult times of life. And that's where today's paid partner, BetterHelp, comes in. And we like BetterHelp because, well, being the travelers that we are, we wouldn't have access to therapy otherwise. And for those of you that have been following along, well, then you know that we've had our fair share of stress, anxiety, and unexpected changes. Behind the scenes, we've been working hard to forge a new path, but starting over is hard. We bought a van.
And we're wasting no time.
And while we're doing all right now, if the stress and pressure of it all starts to build up, then it's nice to know that therapy is available to us anytime from anywhere. Unfortunately, BetterHelp is completely online, making it super convenient and easy to get started. You just go to their website, you fill out a few questions, and they will match you to a therapist who fits your needs and preferences. And you get the same quality as you would from an in-office therapist, but with the ability to schedule live sessions by phone or video, and you can message your therapist anytime. Now, if for some reason you don't feel like that therapist is a good fit, no worries. BetterHelp makes it super easy to switch at any time for no additional cost. So let BetterHelp help you rule your anxiety so that it doesn't rule you. To get started, just click the link down in the description box below or head over to betterhelp.com/gonewiththewinds to get 10% off your first month of therapy.
I'm managing the whole operation from production to delivery of the finished products of chocolates.
Okay, and you're going to be our tour guide for today.
Yes, this is the sorting process. So
Once the beans are sorted by size, they are weighed and then sent over for roasting.
the roasting process for chocolate is prefers a slow and low cooking for cacao.
Apparently, over-roasted beans make for bitter chocolate, but when perfectly toasted, it enhances the flavors.
The beans that are pulled from the roasting process is put in here.
Okay.
So this machine cracks the beans and separate the shell
Yes.
and the nib.
So this has been roasted and then we
delightful. Roasted and winnowed, meaning the outer shell has come off, and now these have been cracked because this is just the nibs.
Yes, it's just the nibs and then we move it to the other building for grinding.
So now we are entering a highly sanitized area for making a chocolate. So we'll be entering the grinding, tempering up to the packing of chocolates.
These giant hoppers and pots are where the nibs are slowly and continuously ground. It's a process called conching, where friction and oxidation slowly help define the flavor and texture over hours and sometimes days.
So once it's grind, chocolates are ready to be tempered. These machines are set on a specific temperature, heated and cooled. So the result of the chocolate using this tempering machine will give a good snap of chocolates.
Yeah. This is about to be a I Love Lucy remake.
One for the home, one for you.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess if I get it wrong, it's okay, right?
Yes.
I'll eat it if it's wrong.
No.
Nope.
Wait. You see this one?
Oh, up here.
Yeah. Yes. Whoa, then you get it. Oh, it's okay. There's another one.
I was so busy celebrating.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
I
Another
take it
one. Sorry. Ikaw ka naka-gloves ka. Okay.
Okay, we're ready? Wait, go.
Then
Wait, and then pull.
get it.
Yeah. How about
Okay.
again, another one. All right.
Am I higher?
Yes. That's
Okay.
good.
I wish that I could say I knocked all those over intentionally, but I did not. So I think I'm more I Love Lucy than I realized. Oh. Okay. And then I take this home. No.
So these chocolates are ready for packing. It's the 65% dark chocolate that you may want to try.
So we can actually eat this in here.
Yes.
Oh, I was so worried that my I Love Lucy moment wasn't gonna happen.
Oh my gosh. It's a sweeter version. It's
Yeah.
65%.
It was really good.
So this is 25 grams of 72% dark chocolate.
And that's a little bar in there.
Yes. This is the pillow packing machine. The molded chocolates are placed here. So you want to try?
New gloves for a new job. Okay, let's
Position.
see how badly I can screw
So
this
the
one up.
position of the product, okay,
This
like that,
way?
and you put it there. Yeah. Yeah. Then, tama na siya. Alright.
Over here.
As long as you will put in between of the two ones.
I know. Okay. She made it look so casual. Jeez. Okay. Okay, there's a few empties.
Oh, you will finish all of that, Miss Nikki.
Oh my God. You have to really focus. Golly. She looks so chill doing it over here.
Yay! All done. Okay.
That was a lot of
It's all good.
pressure.
Yes.
Okay. I think I'm gonna need some more training.
So that's all.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll take this box with me. That's okay, right?
I will.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I can have all the empties. Yeah. Salamat. Thank you. That's all, folks. Are you sad you didn't get to work in the chocolate factory?
Yes, of course. I didn't get to work in the chocolate factory. Of course I'm jealous, totally. And you had your Lucy moment where you were just like, oh my God, and I'm watching from behind the camera trying not to shake because I'm laughing. Oh, that was pretty freaking funny. And then, so jealous that you got to taste the chocolate before I did. I'll just have to wait.
No. I gave him a piece. I did share.
It was secret.
Don't tell anybody.
Breadfruit tree. Such a curious little plant.
Is that your favorite new plant?
Yeah. Rex said these are endemic to Davao and they're ferns. They're like dinosaur ferns. They grow on trees. They don't kill the trees, surprisingly. And they just look so cool. They're everywhere. Oh, and it's on this palm tree that he said was like an Australian variety, which is like the ones that we saw in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. Silver fern trees. Tree ferns. Whatever.
Now that we have the big, broad understanding of how chocolate is made, it's time to learn the real secrets. What makes this chocolate so special? So we are in the R&D room, and we are going to get a very special process here, which is small batch going through from bean to bar, but it's going to take days because that's what it takes in here apparently. The fastest bar they can make, like just to give something to sample, is 3 days. And that would be super rushed, not best quality. And he was telling me that it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get a really high-end, high-quality product for the end. So the price of my fancy chocolate bar is seeming a little less intense right now because 3 weeks is a long time to go through to make one product.
We're gonna start with heirloom beans that we have sourced from our farms. I'm gonna show you step by step until we reach the liquor phase. This is roasted bean, the shell removed. And then we're gonna crush it into roasted cacao nibs. And then when we're gonna grind it, it will turn into cocoa liquor. So that's liquefied cacao bean. Of course, we're gonna sample it as we finish. In the first step for the laboratory scale is we're gonna roast it. So when we low roast, it doesn't burn off the flavors from the cacao and the aroma. So it will give us the best possible fruitiness, acidity of the cacao. So you can go higher, so 130, 120. But that would really change the flavor of the chocolate. So larger manufacturers really like to do higher roasts. So when you roast high, the only flavor that shows is cocoa.
Okay.
So of course, when you make large quantities, you want it to be consistent. So they always roast high, so it will only taste chocolate. So that's the difference between us and larger scale manufacturers, is that we want the flavor of the cacao to really show from the single origin that it's been. So we don't want to burn it off during roasting. So what you taste is really what the cacao is meant to taste from the farming phase.
So that reminds me a lot of coffee.
Yeah, it's really similar to coffee.
Because if you're doing those light to medium roasts, then you kind of keep all those flavors and all those nuances, and that's what everybody's looking for. But if you're getting cheaper coffees or just more mass produced, it would be, just taste like coffee. Yeah. I also love the fact that he said laboratory. Yeah. So, no, I don't know, it makes me think of mad scientist, which this looks more like a kitchen, but this is indeed a laboratory. So I'm going to comment just the fact that I've had cacao nibs from just like the store, you buy them at Whole Foods, whatever the case may be. Honestly, this is still far better than what I've ever had as far as just what I've been able to purchase at the store, like cacao nibs, because they're usually far more bitter than this. I could just eat these straight up. Like, you don't even have to turn it into anything.
So when you low roast, all the fruitiness, acidity, you maintain it somehow. So when you high roast, all of those goes out, especially the off flavors.
Yeah.
So that's also one reason they high roast. So you burn out the negative flavors. So from here, we have good quality cacao. We don't have any negative flavors to burn out. So we can focus on bringing out the good quality of the bean.
It's so interesting because it's not like typical chocolate at all. It doesn't taste what I'm so used to thinking of as chocolate. It's like a whole new sort of thing. It's kind of tripping me out. Like my aunt does not like chocolate. She has never liked chocolate her entire life. And I feel like I'm going to have to get her to try this because it doesn't taste like chocolate. It tastes different. I think she might actually like this. Okay, Rebecca, I'm bringing this to you.
The statement that you said about not having negative flavors in your beans because you know how they're grown, you know where they're grown, and they're certified and they're heirloom. Like, you don't have to burn off the bad flavors because you have no bad flavors. That was like a, to me,
But,
like flipped a switch.
Also, the bad flavors, like we already remove it at the farm level.
But the hand sorting and everything also
Yes,
helps.
yeah.
Also,
Yes.
so what you end up with is just the best of the best.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this is originally a coffee mill.
So Gio takes us through his chocolate making process.
Since the shell is a lot lighter than the nib, what this does is it separates it using a vacuum. So the lighter particles will be sucked out here to the vacuum, and then the end product will be the nib.
Which is the same grinding, winnowing, and tempering process that the factory does. But seeing it small batch like this is more like watching a chef at work. It's equal parts science, art, and magic. And also, I will now forever think of a kitchen as a laboratory. And this is already like getting silky smooth.
So this has been running 5-6 hours.
Oh, okay.
Yes, when we let it run for a long time, the acidity and astringency comes out. It kind of evaporates and improves the chocolate overall. This is fine. I'm just letting it run to improve the taste.
And I guess just because it's aerating, it's
Yes,
mixing. So sort of like letting it, I'm trying to
Letting
think.
it simmer, I think, for cooking.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So
Letting
this
the
is-
flavors marry.
Yeah, like that. Tomorrow, I will also show you how we make the dark chocolates.
I have to say, it all smells like straight up like a chocolate bar right now. I could just put a spatula in there and go to town. He says it doesn't taste that good. I think I would probably like it.
So it's really liquid since it's just pure tablea, pure cacao here.
Whoa, that is super intense. Almost like glue in your mouth. It's really still pretty good though. Like a tiny bit of sugar, but yeah, it's not bitter. I get what you mean by like the sour, but it's more tart.
Yeah, tart.
Yeah.
Astringency tart.
Here you go, Jay. Give that a go.
Is we are going to temper the chocolate. So when we say temper, we have to shape it and have the crystals form for it to come out as shiny and solid and stable. So if you don't have a proper temper, your chocolate will melt even in this temperature. So it's not ideal for this kind of climate. So while I move it around the table, it's gonna cool down rapidly, and then it's gonna form the crystals that we need to make sure that the chocolate is tempered. Just R&D testing, I do it in the marble slabs. I'm gonna move it around here, cool that chocolate, and then put it in a mold.
The carpenter and the chocolate maker have a lot in common.
Scrape off the excess. Maybe around 20 minutes. This is what we molded. Hopefully it's shiny. So this is the finished product, so it has the shine. There are some streaks, which, well, we did it manually. So we're going to make 70% dark chocolate. When we say 70%, that's 70% pure cacao. When we add sugar to this mixture, it's going to thicken, of course, because we're adding some solid. So the cocoa butter is just more of improvement of viscosity, improvement of the fluidity for the chocolate. Just add it slowly. So in this state, the liquor accepts the sugar a lot more easier, or you can see that the chocolate mixture thickened, so we can add cocoa butter to help ease the viscosity. So when you make white chocolate, it's all cocoa butter and no liquor.
Hold on, say that again. So when you make white chocolate,
White chocolate is just the fat from the cacao plus sugars and milk. So that's why it's
that's
white
why
or
it's
yellow.
not good for you.
I mean,
It's fat and sugar.
it really
and
has
nothing
a higher sugar content, and it's sweeter since there's no cacao to really give other flavors. If you want to higher quality white chocolate, you have to look for the off-white or yellowish ones, since that will indicate that it's made of cocoa butter. The commercial grade ones are really white, really shiny.
Yeah.
So that's made of a lot of vegetable oil. Yeah, so it's really just vegetable oil, sugar, and milk powders. So that's why it should be named candy bars.
Yeah.
But there are a lot also of artisan white chocolate, which is made of around 40-50% cocoa butter, and that's milk powders and sugar. So that's what makes white chocolate.
White chocolate.
Yeah, it's still chocolate in my opinion because it's still made from cacao. There's still cacao in it, which is in the form of the butter. But it's really expensive since the higher you go with the cocoa butter, it gets exponentially expensive since this one is the most expensive ingredient of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why we don't make it.
Yeah, but that's interesting. So the cocoa butter is the most expensive thing you can make out of cacao.
Yes.
For now.
For now, since the supply is really low, and then you add a lot more steps, so you have cocoa butter, which is really expensive right now.
Explain how cocoa butter is made again.
Earlier, we made liquor. For you to get cocoa butter from that, we have a specialized machine, and you press it to extract the butter. We have a mass, and we have the oil. So the mass is where cocoa powder comes from. So when you extract the expensive one, you are left with the cocoa powder, which is cheaper compared to the butter. However, again, supply is low. Powder is also rising in cost.
They don't make their own in-house cocoa butter because you're having to roast it at such a high level. So then you'd be you'd be over roasting the beans. So they use you wouldn't want to use their high quality cacao beans here just to make cocoa butter from. It's all so fascinating. I could nerd out all day, every day.
We learned a really interesting fact that I think is so cool, and I want to share it. This is a 65% dark chocolate bar. It is 85 grams, and what Rex told us is one bar like this is equivalent to one full-grown pod. So,
But still a generalization.
oh yeah, it's very kind of like an average math. It depends on the tree variety, depends on how much sun it gets, it depends on so many factors. But in general, this bar is made from this one pod. And on this tree, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be right back to you in a few minutes. I'm just gonna say there's about 80 pods on this one tree. And some of them are small. Most of them, he said, will make it, but some won't. So in general, this one tree will produce about, let's say 70 to 80 of these bars. It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That just tells you to multiply that by how many bars are sitting at the grocery store,
How many bars you need to make any money?
how
as a
many
farmer?
trees you need to have, how many, God, it's just nuts. It really makes you respect the time and the love and the energy that goes into making one of these bars. And Rex told me at the end of the day, he's like, after we have a harvest and we make the bar, as long as it's not a failure and it tastes like the way I want it to taste, and he's so proud of it. And I think it's pretty neat to take something from a tiny little pod to a lollipop, to a tree, to a bar. It's cool.
So we have gone through the full process at this point, and now we have finally reached the moment where we get to do a full tasting so that we can have full appreciation for all of this hard work that we don't do, but that everybody here at Malagos does. All right, Rex, what are we starting with?
Okay, we're trying a cocoa liquor from the beans we got from the Heirloom Cacao Preservation Designee number 19. We have to combine it with another bean, so we got the HCT number 16, which is our heirloom bean.
It is a big deal because it's single origin, and now you've got two different heirloom farms, which just so happen, 16 and number 19 in the entire world happen to be in the same...
In Davao.
In Davao.
Yeah.
So the two beans are now combined and in this container.
So we have a star-studded...
I know, that's what I was just going to say.
Star-studded cacao here.
Exactly. And Gio's hiding out in the background like he's not here, but he is.
Yeah.
We see you, Gio. Join us here, Gio. We need your expert opinion also.
That's right.
Take a little bit and just let it coat your mouth in fat. It's really high fat chocolate.
It's not really bitter.
Yeah. So this one is not really expected to be bitter. We roasted it low, so what we really expected to come out is more of some fruitiness and herbal.
For me, it kind of hits more in over here with these berry flavors. Is it allowed to hit in multiples?
Yeah, so it's not really restricted to one area. For me, I tasted a little bit of rum, and then it will. Right now, it's going towards the fruity notes. So that's the time when the cocoa butter really coats your mouth, and then it delivers different kinds of flavors. Then that really elevates your chocolate experience.
I feel very
You
elevated.
can try also putting a little bit of sugar.
Yeah.
You put the liquor, like get some liquor, and then you put a little bit of sugar, just so that sometimes when you put sugar, the fruitiness
Comes out even
comes
more.
out. Yeah. Lami. It's good.
It's funny, before, I very quickly went from chocolatey to these like berry flavors and real kind of fruity over here. And then with a little bit of sugar, now it was like it started chocolatey rum with just a hint of this over here. So it is fascinating because you would think just sugar would just make it sweeter, but it doesn't. It completely changes the flavor. Reminds me of like when you're tasting, say like whiskey or rum, and you add just a single drop of water, and it just completely opens it up and changes the flavors that you get. And it's like the sugar here seems to do a similar thing. Like it just totally changes it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very underqualified right now.
For tasting, the thinner the bar, the better it will melt. So the better flavor it will be released. So it's a better experience overall. So we're gonna compare it, the overall experience with this bar and this commercially grocery brand bar. So our nose and our eyes are a gateway to our mouth. So we won't really eat something that smells bad and looks bad. This is good quality chocolate since it's still shiny. It's melting on my hand already.
Yeah.
When we smell, it will have like it will set.
You need to have this.
Oh. Is this like a pinky's out or pinky's not out? Yeah.
So it's okay if it melts, and then you put it inside your mouth. As it melts, the cocoa butter will coat your mouth, and then you will hopefully experience different complex flavors that comes with the cacao.
Okay, this is a completely different experience from the liqueur. It's so much more mellow than what we just tried, and was just super smooth right out of the gate. Like no bitterness whatsoever. Kind of hit me, I guess if I'm looking at this, I would say like it was almost like rum and banana, because it sort of kind of came together with the, not caramel, but it was like this sweet, soft flavors that didn't like shoot straight over to like the super fruity or anything. It was like this slow, nice, smooth transition from sort of just one little area to another.
I really would agree with that, since our chocolate would rarely go through herbal, spicy, or vegetal flavor profiles. So
Okay, I got it right. Yay! It does. It smells like a little, maybe like a like this kind of capsaicin, cinnamony. I don't know. You want to spit it out, don't you?
So when we do this tasting with other really qualified tasters, they will spit out your chocolate if they don't like it. So I really take it quite well. If what I develop, they swallow. So.
It just tastes chocolatey, but dusty. I don't know how to say. It just tastes like dusty.
So when they do this, they do it in really large quantities. And when you have this really large demand, you have to have like tons and tons of cacao beans. So you just buy whatever, even though it's poorly fermented, poorly stored. So that's what you taste, the dustiness and some mold into it.
The trader just buys the beans and okay, here's your money, give me your bean.
Yeah.
So they don't really care because it's
Extra
not
work.
eaten. It's extra work
Yeah.
for another 6-7 days.
Ooh.
Yeah. Or they don't have a facility.
Yeah.
They don't have the fermentary boxes. So they just buy it directly. So the flavor would not really develop further, unlike a fermented cacao bean.
Well, unfortunately, the best I can do is give you, tasting notes and tell you about the experience, because this is a small farm and just a speck in the world of chocolate as a whole, and especially when you think of like worldwide chocolate consumption, they are so very small, and even for them, they can really only produce enough chocolate to satisfy the needs here in the Philippines. They don't sell internationally. So if you would like to give it a try, you will just have to come to the Philippines. But that's also what sort of blows my mind, is that, there are only, the bugs are going to drive me crazy right now. It's that hour. They are so small, yet they are one of 16 heirloom varieties in the world. And I've probably said that 9 million times at this point, but that's just how unique and how special it really truly is versus the worldwide of chocolates. It feels very privileged and special that we got to come and see and taste this. But the good news is anybody can come. If you find yourself in the Philippines, you can go and give it a try for yourself. And I highly recommend it if you can. If somebody's flying through, I'm sure they sell it at the airport.
Yeah.
I'd grab yourself a bar, or maybe 20 if they've got them. Anyway.